Hey everyone, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're going to be diving into why your ads are lying to you and why that's messing up your business. So what we're going to cover today is a little mix between customer journeys, ROAS, and acquisition cost. See, when you go into Facebook, Google Ads, or TikTok Ads Manager, you're probably looking at three very specific columns, right? That's spend, ROAS, and revenue generated. And when you're only looking at those three columns to evaluate the impact your ads have on your business, it really builds two major issues for you. First off is that ROAS is just a snapshot of current reality. It really doesn't tell you anything. So the first question you could start asking yourself is, this purchase I just got from my Facebook ad, for example, was that from a new customer or was it from an old customer? And also, what's the lifetime value of that customer you got in? Because you don't know if that's an old or new customer. Like, where are they in their customer journey, right? Like, what's the expected revenue you can expect to get out of them, right? So you get a lot of unanswered questions from just looking at ROAS alone. Second off is that attribution is literally impossible to get correct in the digital world. Like, customer journeys are so complex you wouldn't even understand. And also attribution can be molded however way you want it. So for attribution models, you have data driven, you have first click, last click, time delay. Attribution is not just looking through a lens because there's no correct lens. So let's dive into it together and see if we can find some answers to hopefully take better decisions moving forward. So before we dive into it, I want to start with a quote I got from a guy named Charlie that really made this stick with me. He said, in a big business, the investor or the CEO doesn't care about ROAS, they care about the overall health of the company. And when you just start looking at it through that lens, it makes everything so much more clear. Because I promise you, the CEO of Coca-Cola, he's not sitting down with the CMO and asking, what's the return on ad spend we got on our Facebook ad or our scaling campaign yesterday? The only thing he's concerned about is how many new customers they actually got the day before, last week, last month, last year. That's the only thing that goes on in his mind. Just to touch on ROAS, you're probably not running ads yourself to get an old customer to buy again, right? You're probably running ads to generate a new customer that can start a new customer journey with you. So that's really the first distinction we have to make, and the first layer we kind of have to uncover here is old versus new customers. And you can look into any dashboard right now, whether that be Google Ads, Facebook Ads, or TikTok Ads, and see the purchase you got if that came from a new customer or an old customer. So now we make the distinction. Okay, we need to figure out, are we getting new customers or are we getting old customers from our ads, right? See, the CEO of Coca-Cola wouldn't ask a CMO, what sort of return on ad spend are we getting from our Facebook ads on all the new customers we're acquiring? No, why would he even care about that? Because if he were to get a ROAS report back from his CMO, that would probably say, oh, we got a 0 point something X return on ad spend from all the new customers we got. And he would probably, like you, freak out and tell his CMO, look, we need to kill all ads because clearly this is not profitable. The lens which through the CEO of Coca-Cola would look at it is he would look at, okay, how much did we actually pay to acquire that customer? That's all he needs to know, because he knows once he's acquired one customer, that person will come back tomorrow or in a few days and buy another can. And because it tastes so damn good, I mean, I'm guilty myself, that person will not only buy tomorrow or in a week, they will also come back the day after that or the week after that and the next month, the next year. Like, they will be a lifetime customer, right? So because that new customer will come back over such a long time period, it doesn't make sense for him to actually know what return on ad spend did he get up front, because ROAS is just a snapshot of current reality, right? He's more so concerned about how much did he pay to acquire that customer, and then he can forecast based on that cost and his cost of goods sold, when will he break even on this and when can he turn a profit from that new customer. Like, you can even look at Alex Hormozi, and he talked about how his return on ad spend to lifetime customer value is 38x. And do you kind of see where I'm trying to go with this? What Coca-Cola and what Alex Hormozi and what so many other people are very good at, what they excel at, is extracting money from their customers on a repeated basis. If you only optimize for return on ad spend, do you know what you're essentially optimizing for? You're optimizing towards selling the highest ticket product for the lowest ticket price. But do you even know if that's a good way to start a customer journey? You're really missing 90% of the equation here, because you're not factoring in how many times will that person come back and will that person refer you to their friends and family. And as I said, selling that high ticket product for the lowest possible price, is that even a good way to start a customer journey, right? Like, will that even yield the most profitable customer journey? Because I'm sorry to say this, but it's most likely not the best way to start your relationship with a new customer. A better way to do it would be to sell, an intro product, a test kit, something that's easy to get into so they can get a feel for a brand, and then as they go along they can start upgrading and buying more expensive things once they've gotten to know your brand and what you actually stand for, right? You can just try and compare this to Louis Vuitton or any like high-end brand, right? You don't go into Louis Vuitton and spend 5k on a jacket or 10k on a suitcase. The first time you go to Louis Vuitton, you really just go in and buy a pair of sunglasses for a couple $100, a small bag for maybe $1,000, something that's not super tough to get into. And then as you buy more and more from Louis Vuitton and you start appreciating their quality, their brand, their marketing, then you start upgrading and buying more expensive things like paying $5,000 for a jacket or paying 10, 20k for a suitcase or something else, right? Something ridiculous. But the point I'm trying to make is you don't go in there and just buy the highest price item. That's not how you do it. And this leads us into attribution and why attributing purchases to a specific ad platform is really an impossible question to answer. See, you have to realize that there's a million different attribution models, right? You can basically just pick one. So by nature, by design, there's no right or wrong answer. It's more like picking a shade of sunglasses, not looking through it with the correct lens, because there is no correct lens. So if you don't know how ad platforms attribution work, it's usually what's called a 1-day view or 7-day click, which means that if someone views your ad and buys within 24 hours, that purchase will get attributed back to Facebook, for example, if that's the platform you're running ads on, or if they click an ad and buys within 7 days, that purchase will also get attributed back. See, let's say you're running ads on Facebook, right? Someone will see that ad and they will click onto your website. Well, they will be met with your welcome 10% discount offer, right? If they sign up to your email list, and then they have to jump out of your website. Maybe life gets in the way. They check back in later, click the email with the 10% discount. And because you didn't set up your TMs, now when they made the purchase, Shopify or Google Analytics is not tracking that as a Klaviyo purchase if that's the email platform you're using, but it will track it as direct. So now you've made one purchase for $100, but it will show up 3 different places, and the reporting tools you use will show 3 purchases for $300, right? So you can kind of see it brings a lot of issues with it. And yeah, there's a way to combat this with like third-party attribution tools like Triple Whale or Northbeam, but you also have to realize those softwares are not perfect. So instead of getting all hung up in what platform made the purchase, you should more so just be worried about 2 things. And these 2 things will make your life so much easier and save you so much headaches. First off is you need to look at your blended new customer acquisition cost. So basically what that entails is just your total amount of new customers divided by your total ad spend. And then the second thing you need to look at is your incremental increase in total revenue. So just going back to our good friend, Mr. Coca-Cola CEO, he didn't care about ROAS, just cared about new customer acquisition costs. And another thing he probably wouldn't care that much about is what platform actually drove the purchases, right? He's just, as I said, focused on the overall health of the business. And the second thing he probably knows is that a customer will have multiple different touch points before they actually convert to a new customer. Okay, so let's say Coca-Cola is running Facebook ads and Google ads, right? And let's say Facebook is underperforming, but their overall blended new customer acquisition cost is below what they actually are willing to pay. Why would he care about how Facebook is performing? Because Facebook will still drive traffic to the website, but maybe it's just not good at getting that actual conversion. Maybe Google is better than that. But the person ending up buying from the Google ad would have actually never made that purchase and become a customer if it wasn't for the Facebook ad. So which platform is more valuable? But you're only going to see one of them actually driving the sales when you look at the reporting. So you need to be more concerned about the overall health of your business, your blended new customer acquisition cost, than trying to get all nitty-gritty with what platform is driving what sales at what CPA or what ROAS, because at the end of the day, it's all intertwined. You can't get around that. Your business doesn't care about Facebook or Google. The only thing your business care about is the overall numbers. Is it profitable or is it not profitable? And so the same concept applies to incremental lift in revenue. And we actually had this recently for a client. So let's say you're doing 5K a day, right? And you're launching Facebook ads for the first time, or you're scaling campaign, adding some budget on top of what you're already doing, and you go from generating 5K to 8K a day in sales. But when you look in your Facebook Ads Manager, you're only seeing, an extra $1,000 a day being generated. So where's the remaining 2,000 at? Why would you even care? You increased your budget with $500 a day and your revenue increased 3K, which means you're getting a 6x incremental lift on that. And that's all you need to know. As long as that number is consistent and stable, then you could care less about where the purchase actually come from, because it's probably intertwined with someone clicking the Facebook ad and then going off your website, clicking an email, going straight to your website after that, and then checking out your Instagram. So it's much more complicated than that. You can't just put it in a box. So instead of cutting out your Facebook ads because clearly on platform that didn't work, what you need to do instead is just increase spend on all platforms, because now you're betting on an entire system and not just a channel. And an entire marketing system, if you have an omni-channel approach, will be much more stable than just trying to bet on TikTok ads performing for the rest of your life. Because you need to realize that customer journeys are not linear and fixed. They're super intricate and super complicated. And so with that being said, guys, that concludes today's video. Hope you can take some of these pointers and implement into your own business, and I'm pretty sure you'll see some pretty exponential growth from that just by looking at things through another lens, not try and be so rigid with it. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment below the video. I would love to help you guys out if you have any questions. And if you like this type of content, leave a like and consider subscribing. That would help me out massively. Yeah, as I said, hope you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you in the next one.